hour, the 1 hour record is the farthest distance traveled by bicycle in 1 hour. The table shows below. You want a linear regression. This is no longer in your calculator. I want you to go get it. Get into your calculator. So we're going to stat edit. We're going to put in lists. We're going to calculate linear regression. We're going to get it into our y equals, and then we're going to do what? Change the window. Okay? And then we're going to put our pencils down so this is 11 knows we're ready. I want you to determine the linear regression equation, and then pick a marker. Left, grab a miss. Get in the game. All right. Nearest 100. Okay. So we have y equals 0.86x minus 1635.73. So you have to, if you don't have that, remember you can just go back to your screen and go stat calc linear, and it'll pop up on your screen, right? So you can get your equation that way every single time. Stat calc linear, enter, and your equation pops up. Does everyone see that? You can just write it from there. Because that's where I got it from. Okay. Now, this one here wants us to determine the world record distance for the year 2006. Now, guys, what we have to, everyone paying attention, pencils down, you can write the equation in a second. I need full attention. So whenever we're given a number in our question, we have to determine, did they give me an X or did they give me a Y? That's what we have to determine. Now, people are kind of confused as to what it is. You shouldn't be confused. If it's a year, in this case, it's X. And if it's a distance, in this case, it's Y, correct? They gave us 2006. Is that a year or distance? That's a year. So they gave us X equals 2006. So that's what I always do to help myself out. I write that down. Okay? Take pencils out. Now, on the front cover, so the back side of the paper that you've been using the steps on the front side of that, it tells you what to do if you're given an X. So, it's this one. Very front cover of the notes I gave you. Here it says, determine Y when X is known. And X is known to us, right? X is 2006, do you agree? So before we go to calculate anything, go to your window. Everyone go to the window. And make sure your X max has at least what number? 2006, correct? So that's what we're looking for. So make sure it's at least 2006 or larger, 2010. Because if you do the steps and you don't have 2006 on your window, it's going to error you. And if it errors you, it's because your window sucks. There's no other 98%, 2% you did something else wrong. But if it errors you when you're finding something, it's your window. Okay? So here it says press calc. How do we press calc? How do we get to calc? Second, what? Trace, because what's the word about trace? Calc. So we do second calc, value. And then X equals pops up. For this one, we're going to go second, trace. The reason why I pick trace is because we're trying to calculate something. Number one, value. And X equals pops up, and what are we going to put in there? 2006, yeah. And then you hit enter. Terrible. And what do we get? What answer? Yeah.
86.378.
I'll go to nearest 100. I have to tell you, you can round to whatever, but I'm going to say nearest 100.
86.4.
2. 86 point, sorry?
It was 86.37.
37 what?
8.
So we'll go 3, 8. So remember that if it's 86.378 like this, the way I remember rounding is if it says 100th, how many zeros does 100 have? 2, so it's 2 decimal places. It's the number of zeros in the word. So if it says 1,000th, how many zeros are in 1,000? 3. If it says 10th, how many zeros are in 10? 1, so 1 decimal place. So it's the number of zeros in the word, okay? So if it says 100th, I know it's going to be 2 decimal places. So I use these 2. These are the 2 I'm going to keep. And what do they tell you to do whenever rounding? Look one behind it. If it's 5 or higher, this goes up. If it's 4 or down, this stays. So that's why it became 38, right? Do we agree? Okay. Now this is the other one we do. Determine the first year the distance reached over 85 kilometers. So did they give me X or Y? 85 kilometers. They gave me Y. Right? Do we agree? So what I do is I go to my window and make sure that 85 is in my window. Go look at my window, look at my Y values, and make sure that 85 will fit in there. Everyone go to your window. Window. Has to fit between your Y min and Y max. So between your Y min and Y max, you have to have the number 85 in there. Or it can't find it, right? So do you have 85 between your Y min and Y max? Can your Y min and Y max be different than my Y min and max? Yep, as long as there's 85 in it. We agree? Okay. So we go back to that second page, and now we need to determine the X when Y is known. So everyone put your pencils down. The only place I can type X equals in is second trace value. X equals pops up, and you put in your number, spits out a value, correct? That's the X equals button. Is everyone paying attention? I know it's Friday in a few days before it actually tired. I am too. Slept my kids' floor last night. She had made her fever. My neck is fine. My back is okay. I slept on a hoodie. Made some sort of padding. Then it's excessive. It was carpet, thank goodness, but it's not big carpet. I have a new house, but carpet. And then I wrapped the blanket underneath me, and then the pillow was lower than what I made as a bed. So it was a well thought out plan, but it was 12:45 and I was not adjusting. Way better today. I think I'm worse than she is now. Her fever must have broke with it. Oh, totally. I didn't get sick. I don't get sick from you guys. Not a big reason. Not a big reason.
Then again, it's everywhere. My younger brothers have something, if they get something, everyone's getting it.
Yeah, they are. They do touch and don't walk. All right. Okay. So everyone practice. Grab your calculator, hold it in the air, and go second trace value. Everyone's doing what I'm saying, paying attention to me. Très important en français. So, second trace value, number 1, and what popped up? X equals. So if everyone given an X, that's where I go, correct? That's my X equals button. Everyone can get there for some unknown reason. It's quite a few steps to get there, right? Second trace value, poof, X equals. Most people are really good at that. And then I say, okay, now type your other one in the Y equals. And they're like, I don't know where that is. And I'm like, you used it, your whole, like the whole entirety of the calculator. Where's your Y equals button? It is the top left. You guys cannot find it. I'm like, you've known it your whole life. Do not clear out Y1. You need that equation, right? Don't clear out Y1. So where is this going to go? Your Y1 is perfectly fine. Your Y2 is where it's going to go. Okay, so everyone follow along as we do that. Okay? So you're going to go to your Y2, and you're going to put in 85, correct? Now press graph. Put in your Y2 and press graph. Now what do you have on your graphing calculator? You have how many straight lines? You have 2. Do you agree? You need to find where those 2 do what? Intersect. How do we do that? Second trace. Why? Why do we press second trace? Because that's where we're calculating something. And then we want where the 2 intersect, right? So second trace, 5, enter, enter, enter. Now, everyone paying attention, put your pencils down. If you go second trace 5, enter, 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 everyone paying attention to me, because this is very important, because you're going to mess up, you're going to ask, call me over on the test, I'm going to say, I can help you. It's test. If you go second trace 5, enter, 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 and an error pops up, it's because your X max isn't big enough. If your calculator can't see where they intersect, it cannot calculate where they intersect. So when I press graph, or I told you guys press graph, and you can see where it intersected, cool. Second trace 5, enter, 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 poof, answer. But if when you press graph, you can't see where they intersect, it will not be able to calculate where they intersect. Okay? So often your problem is your x max needs to be bigger. Okay, so second choice 5, enter, pick up your calculators. Go away. Fine, stay, I don't even care. All right, what did we get? 2004? Now, these are all written response. Have I gotten full marks for anything I've done? Not really. This one here, in terms of the linear equation, you can say the linear equation is poof, correct? Linear equation is that. Then it says determine the world record distance from the year 2006. So I'd say the world record, I don't know why these are not coming. The world record, there we go. The world record distance. Can I just say the world record distance is 86.38 kilometers? If that just stood alone, would you know when that was happening? No. Yeah.
Was he not 2005?
What was it? What was the answer?
Well, 2004.39.
So 2004. Oh, it said reached over 85. Oh, you don't have it in those things. We have 2005, so it's not going to be 50. So 2004.3985. Okay. So the world record distance for the year 2006 is 86.38 kilometers. You need to have it all there for the year 2006, all that information, right? The next one says determine the first year the distance reached over 85 kilometers. The first year the distance reached over 85 kilometers. Is 2004. Now we need the domain and range of this So we'll deal with domain and range another day. I'm not going to do it. I want you guys to try out this one. So it's the first thing we're going to do. Put your y equals and clear it, correct? So that we can't accidentally use it. And not hit your calculator. That's not going to help it. Okay, I'm going to do this one, linear regression, and I want you to answer B. Try it out. So, once I get my list, this is that list of data, I go stat, calc, linear, because it told me so. Enter, 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 enter if I have the newer ones. If I have the older ones, linear is going to pop up, I'm going to press enter, and it'll spit out an equation, correct? At this point, before you put in your y equals, is where you get the equation. If you put in your y equals, the equation's gone, you just go stack, calc, linear regression, and pop it back up onto your screen, right? But here's where we get the equation from. So it's y equals this here is going to go in for my A, and this is going to go in for the B, and the y and the x will stay the same. Okay? So we're going to get y equals negative 0.0065, I believe. X negative 0.0065 plus 6.5. Don't worry about the nearest hundreds were necessary. Okay. Then here we have Matt misplacing information from his supplier about price discounts and bulk orders. He would like to get the price per shirt below 150. So how many does he need to buy? So is the price Y or X? This is X, this is Y, price up. Why? Do you see that? You go to your table to figure out if it's X or Y. It's money. Money is under Y. So Y equals 150. So I'm going to put that into my Y too. First off, I need to change my window because I have not, I don't think I have it in my Y equals yet. So I got a Y equals bars, statistics, over to equation. Now it's in there. I go to my window. I want 0 to 1,000. You can have it at whatever you want. And then this 0 to 10. Graph. Okay, so I have that, right? Go to my Y equals and I put in my amount, which is $1.50. And I press graph. Can I see where they intersect? So that I can calculate it, correct? If I can't see, I have to usually put X max figure. Second, trace 5, enter, enter, enter. And I get 769. But if I buy 769 shirts, will I be below 150? I mean, will I be below? I'll be at 150. So instead of buying 769 shirts, how many am I going to have to buy to get below 150? 700 and? I want to get below 150, guys. The more shirts you buy, the cheaper it gets, right? 770. I just round up. So I want to get below 150. Right? Because 769 shirts gets me $1.50. If I want below 150, I need to buy more shirts. So it'd be 770. Obviously, that's a good answer, and I get 100%. No, it's not. So, and if you say, I need to buy 770 shirts, also not a full answer. Correct? What are we trying to do here? He would like to get the price of the shirt below 150. So, Matt needs to buy 770 shirts to get the price per shirt. Below 150. We'll talk about the main and range later, not right now. Okay, I'm going to show you what's going to be homework for today. That is going to be due on Monday because we're going through it. Okay? How do you get better at these? Practicing them. So if you're somebody who's like, I'm just going to go on my phone for the rest and hope for the best on Monday, and she's just going to go through them. I'm going to be really good at regressions, and you're not. That's all that's going to happen. I already am really good at them. Okay? You don't need to toot my own horn here. But like when you teach it at least 3 to 4 times a year since it started in 2012, I got a lot of practice. Right? If I can't do it without thinking, you should be afraid. All right? And we even did regressions before that in the old curriculum. And it's 2006 17. So trust me, I don't need the practice, but you do. So just watching me, is that going to make it better for you when it's all these steps? No. And if you don't type it in, you're not going to realize when an error pops up what to do. Correct? If you type it in and an error pops up, I walk over to you right now before a test and we can discuss maybe what's happening. And we can resolve your errors. Now, so when it happens on the test, you're like, oh, right, it's my X max figure. Oh, right, I need to check my Y equals, maybe there's more things in it, right? Like all those things. Dim mismatch. Oh, right, that means the table one is longer than the other. Okay? So it's better when you guys are playing straight. So we're going to go to the next page, and I'm going to circle what I want you to do. I'm not going to make you do all of them, but for example 3, I want you to do B, C, and D. And this is a linear again. Oh, I lied. I want you to do A. I don't know why I didn't want you to write down the equations. That would be stupid. Okay. We're going to go past this one, just because I'm not going to get 8,000 questions. We're going to go to example 5. I went to example 5 because it is a quadratic regression, which is number 5. Remember, we don't want to forget it is different. I want you to do A, B, C, and D, E. So I'm going to make you do at least one of each. So I made you do one linear, one quadratic, okay? Actually, keep going, I didn't know there was more, F and G. 6 is a lot to type in, so I'm going to go past it. We already did it, right? And I did that one just to prove to you that they can put 2 lists side by side, right? Which seems to extend, and then I don't know what I call. Okay. And then this one, X, Y, This is a cubic, which is number what? 6. And then I want you to do A, B, C. Do you think that's unrealistic to give you a linear, quadratic, and cubic, and to give you about 15 minutes to accomplish it yourself? Let's go.